Today we're going to do the distributions assignment. First thing we'll do is click on View to see what we're dealing with. Looks like we're going to need the probability calculator and the employee data. To get the employee data, we're going to go to Data Files, and employee data is here. It's in our data file, and we'll just click Open. It's an old data file. Okay, so this is our SPSS data file. If we look at the value label, if we turn off value labels, we see genders coded as M and F. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, we'll go back and we're going to view the actual assignment, since now we've got the employees data loaded into SPSS. Question 1. Draw a histogram of starting salary separately for males and females. And we're going to display the normal curve. So we'll open up our SPSS file. And then what we're going to do is we're going to split the file into two parts, males and females. And we go down to Split File. And we're going to compare groups and compare it with gender. And we're going to have to sort it. Okay, now everything we're going to do is going to be done separately for males and females. We want to draw a graph. And we'll go back to Legacy and Histograms. And we want to draw it of beginning salary or starting salary. We'll display the normal curve and just click OK. So we're looking at these two. This is the female distribution. It doesn't look very normal. It's a little bit positively skewed. But if we look at the male distribution, we see it's even more positively skewed. There are ways to tell whether or not how closely the normal curve fits data. We aren't going to go into that. We're just eyeballing it. And looking at this, it looks like the females distribution, the normal curve, fits a little bit better than the male distribution. So we go back here, and males are 2. It looks like the females fit a little bit better. Okay, before we do the next problems, we're going to do a breakdown. And in order to do this, we're going to first of all have to transform gender into a numerical data. To do that, we'll go transform, recode into a different variable, and we're going to recode gender, which is a string variable, and we want to make it numeric. So we'll call it gender n for numeric. Change the values. Old and new values. If we have a male, we'll make those 1s. If we have a female, we'll make that value a 2. And continue. And OK. And looking at our data file, what we found is we've added a new variable, and it's gender n. And let's recode that a little bit. We'll look at variable view, gender n, and values. If it's 1, it's a male. And if it's a 2, it's a female. In other words, we're just documenting how we did what we did. And if we go to data view, if we look at the value labels, we see they're the same as before. The only thing now, instead of coding gender as M and F, we're coding it as 1 and 2. Before we do this, we're going to go back to data and split file. We're going to turn that off. We're going to analyze all cases now. Now we can go to analyze, compare means, dependent is going to be beginning salary, independent is going to be gender. We're going to find beginning salary separately for males and females and just click OK. And I just want you to notice here the mean and standard deviation of females is 13.091 and 2935. For males it's 20.301 and 9.111.112, somewhere thereabouts. Okay, if we look at our problem, we note that these same values for mu and sigma appear up here. In other words, this is the female mean and standard deviation for beginning salary. This is the male mean and standard deviation for starting salary. We're going to use those values, the mean and the standard deviation for males and females respectively, as our estimates of mu and sigma. So we're going to base our decisions, at least in the first 4 problems, on the normal curve. Okay, so 13.091, and we'll open up the probability calculator, and we're going to look for area between, and mu is 13.091. And sigma $2,935. Low score, we're going to look for between 15 and 17,000. And we just go this direction, probability, and 0.166. Okay, we're going to find this using the same mu and sigma. We're going to find it between 17 and 20. And that looks like it's 0.082. Okay, doing the same thing for males, 2301 for mu, and sigma was considerably greater. It was 9112. And we'll go back to 15 and 17. And find that probability 0.078. And we'll do the same thing between 17 and 20. .128. Okay, now we're going to find the actual number. So this is the value based on the normal curve. We're going to find the actual number of females who had a starting salary between 15 and 17. So we're going to go back to our SPSS, and we're going to do a transformation, and we're going to transform into a different variable. We're going to transform beginning salary. We don't want gender anymore. We want beginning salary. And we're looking for between 15 and 17. So we'll rename the variable, or the new name we'll give the variable is between 15 and 17K. LK. And the old and new values, okay, we're going to look at the range. So if it's between 15 and 17, we're going to give it a 1. All the other values, if it's higher or lower, we're going to give a 0. And then just click OK. Looking at our data file, see that we've created a new variable, and if it's between 15 and 17, we're going to give it a 1, otherwise it's 0. Going back to our problem, the other is less than 12, so we'll create another variable. Transform into a different value. We'll make this one less than 12K. The old and new values is, we'll get rid of this one. Lowest through 12. We'll make that a 1. Add. Continue. OK. Back to our data file. Note that we've got zeros and ones for this one. Okay, now we're going to just do a simple crosstab. All we want to find are the percentages of males and females who have these different values. So we'll put, doesn't matter whether we have gender or gender n, let's put gender n. In the columns we'll put between 15 and less than. We'll do both of these at the same time. The cells, we'll ask for row percentages, just to make our life easy. And here are our answers. Okay, between 15 and 17K, 43.8% of the males started there. .438. The females, let's see if we can make this a little bit easier. .093. Okay, now for what proportion of females had a starting salary less than $12,000? We'll go down to this one, and it looks like 0.491. What proportion of males had the same starting salary? 0.023. For the final problem, we want to compare the actual proportions with those predicted by the normal curve model. So we'll pull up the calculator, and for males, we're going to look at the observed, which would be 0.438, minus, because we're going to look at the difference, and the predicted would be 0.078. So we've got a difference of 0.36, kind of a large difference. For females, we have an observed of 0.093 and a predicted of 0.155. Again, we're going to look at the absolute difference rather than the... So it looks like females are much closer. So we'll put 2. Now we can see whether or not we have the right answer. And we submit the assignment. And we get 10. Use the answer key. And we're done.